Consider for a moment the very act of seeing these words, of being present in this moment. You may think it a mere coincidence, a random occurrence. But I say unto you, your presence here, your awareness of this message, is a testament to the wealth that is already yours in consciousness. For in the realm of infinite possibility, where all realities exist simultaneously, you have chosen to align yourself with this particular moment, this specific message of imminent wealth. But what does it truly mean to say that you are going to be rich simply because you are seeing this? It is not a matter of external circumstances or future events aligning in your favor. It is a state of consciousness, a shift in your very being that aligns you with the creative power of the universe. It is about recognizing that wealth, in its truest essence, is not something to be acquired, but a state to be assumed. Let us delve deeper into this profound truth. Your outer world, every experience you have, every circumstance you encounter is nothing more than a reflection of your inner world, your consciousness. It is a mirror faithfully reflecting back to you the sum total of your beliefs, assumptions, and most importantly, your concept of self. When you understand this, truly understand it, you realize that by carefully choosing and vividly imagining yourself as already rich, you are actively creating a new reality that will unfold in your experience. This understanding is crucial, for it shifts the entire paradigm of how you approach wealth. No longer are you a helpless being at the mercy of external circumstances, hoping for favorable conditions to bring you riches. You become the active creator of your reality, knowing that as you assume the state of being rich, the universe must rearrange itself to match this new inner assumption. But how, you may ask, can one truly assume the state of being rich when their current circumstances may suggest otherwise? The answer lies in the creative power of your wonderful human imagination combined with the intensity of your feeling and belief. For your imagination is not a mere fantasy maker, and your feelings are not mere reactions to external stimuli. Together, they form the very workshop in which reality is forged. Let us take a moment to truly understand this. Your subconscious mind, which is one with the universal creative force, does not distinguish between what you vividly imagine and feel as true and what you actually experience in the outer world. It accepts as true whatever you feel to be true in your imaginal acts. And once it accepts an idea as true, it proceeds to bring it into manifestation in your physical reality, regardless of how long it takes in clock time. So when you see this message and accept it as true, when you fall asleep in the absolute conviction that you are already rich, you are not engaging in wishful thinking or self-deception. You are actively creating your new reality from within. You are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe, allowing it to work through you and for you. This, my dear listeners, is the essence of why seeing this message means you are going to be rich. It is about recognizing that the power to shape your reality lies within you, waiting to be expressed through your conscious imaginal acts. It is about understanding that your outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner conversations and assumptions, which can be radically altered by assuming the state of wealth. Consider the biblical phrase, "To him that hath, more shall be given." This is not a mere statement about material possessions. It is a profound truth about the nature of consciousness. When you assume the state of wealth, when you feel its reality with every fiber of your being, you are him that hath in consciousness. And to this state more must be given, for it is the law of your own being. But let me be clear, assuming the state of wealth is not about false visualizations or strained affirmations. It is about a total immersion in the feeling of being rich. When you truly embody this practice, you naturally assume the thoughts, feelings, and inner conversations of a wealthy person. You go to sleep not as the person bound by financial limitations, but as the person who lives in a state of infinite abundance. Let us explore this further with an example. Imagine a person who sees this message and decides to take it to heart. Their outer reality may show limited funds and mounting bills, but instead of focusing on these appearances, they choose to act from the assumption that they are already rich. As they lie in bed, they immerse themselves in the feeling of financial freedom. They feel the security, the ease, the joy of having more than enough. They allow this feeling to permeate every cell of their being. They fall asleep in this state, carrying it into their dreams. When they awaken, something has shifted. They may not see immediate external changes in their financial situation, but internally they are no longer the same person. They have experienced the reality of wealth, and this new self-concept begins to reshape their outer world. In the days and weeks that follow, they find themselves naturally acting with more confidence in financial matters. They approach money decisions from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. They notice opportunities they would have previously overlooked, and as they continue to live from this state of wealth, their outer world begins to reflect this new inner reality. New financial opportunities arise. Unexpected sources of income appear. Their entire financial situation begins to transform, all stemming from the simple act of seeing this message and assuming the state of wealth. This principle applies to every aspect of your life. Whether you desire wealth in terms of money, relationships, health, or any other area, the key is to first assume the state of wealth in your imagination. Feel the reality of being rich in all areas of your life. Fall asleep in that state, knowing that as you do so, you are planting a seed in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind that must grow into your outer reality. Now I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, can simply seeing this message and assuming I'm rich really make such a difference? Surely we must take action in the physical world to create wealth. And to this I say, action is indeed part of the process, but it is secondary to the state of consciousness you assume. When you live from the state of being rich, you align yourself with the frequency of wealth. From this aligned state, you will be naturally inspired to take the right actions that support your new reality of abundance. Remember, the outer world is dead. It has no life of its own. It is your consciousness that gives life to your experiences. When you focus on your current financial limitations, constantly reacting to circumstances of lack, you are breathing life into a reality of scarcity. But when you see this message and assume the state of wealth, when you live from this state in your imagination, you set in motion a series of events that must culminate in the outer expression of this new inner reality. This, my dear friends, is the true secret to creating lasting wealth in your life. It is about aligning your inner conversations and imaginal acts with the state of wealth, recognizing that this wealthy reality is seeking expression through you, and allowing it to flow into your experience through the power of your imagination and unwavering belief. But let me warn you, this shift in consciousness, this practice of living from the state of wealth, is not always an easy task. The old habits of scarcity thinking, of focusing on lack and limitation, are deeply ingrained in our collective consciousness. As you embark on this new way of being, you may find resistance arising within you. Doubts may creep in. Old thought patterns may try to reassert themselves. When this happens, do not fight against these thoughts and feelings. Simply observe them, acknowledge them, and then gently return to your state of wealth. For the war is not won by battling against what you don't want, but by persistently embodying what you do want. This persistence, this unwavering commitment to maintaining the state of wealth in your imagination, even in the face of contrary evidence, is what allows you to truly transform your reality. Think of it like tuning a radio. When you're trying to listen to a particular station, you don't focus on eliminating all the other stations. You simply tune into the frequency you desire. In the same way, you don't need to fight against your current financial reality or forcefully push away thoughts of lack. You simply need to tune yourself to the frequency of wealth to align your entire consciousness with the reality where you are already rich. This tuning is done through your imagination and your ability to generate feeling states. Your imagination is the dial that allows you to tune into different frequencies of experience. As you use your imagination to fully embody the state of wealth, as you feel the reality of being rich, you are tuning yourself to that frequency, allowing the corresponding experiences to flow into your life. But remember, my friends, this is not a one-time event. Living from the state of wealth is a way of life. It's a constant choice to maintain this state of consciousness, regardless of appearances. Just as you wouldn't expect to stay in shape by exercising once, you cannot expect to create lasting wealth by assuming the state once. This is about persistently assuming the state of wealth, about living from this consciousness day in and day out, until it becomes your new normal. As you do this, you will find that your perception of wealth begins to shift. What once seemed like financial obstacles now appear as opportunities. Challenges become stepping stones to greater prosperity. You begin to see yourself as the wealthy being you truly are, knowing that your consciousness is constantly shaping your reality. Now, some of you may be wondering, but Neville, how can I maintain this state of wealth when my current financial reality seems to contradict it? How can I persist in feeling rich when circumstances seem to suggest otherwise? And to this I say, your imagination infused with feeling is more powerful than any circumstance. Consider for a moment, have you ever been deeply moved by a story of wealth and success, whether in a book or a movie? In those moments, were you not feeling real emotions based on imaginary events? Your feelings were real, even though the events were not happening in your physical reality. This is the power you must harness when you live from the state of wealth. You must use your imagination to create scenarios that evoke the feelings associated with wealth. Imagine how you would feel if you were truly rich in all areas of your life. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the sense of security and freedom that would come with this reality. Feel these states as vividly and as consistently as you can. The key is to make your imaginal acts as real to you as possible. Engage all your senses. Feel the textures associated with wealth. Hear the sounds of abundance surrounding you. See the world through the eyes of someone who lives in a state of infinite plenty. Make it so real that your rational mind cannot distinguish between this imaginal act and physical reality. But here's a crucial point, my friends. The goal is not to imagine specific amounts of money or material possessions. The goal is to capture the essence of the feeling state associated with wealth, for it is this feeling state that is the true attractor of your experiences. Let me illustrate this with an example. Instead of imagining a specific sum of money in your bank account, capture the feeling essence of financial abundance. Feel the security, the freedom, the joy that comes with this state. See yourself moving through life with the ease and confidence of someone who knows that their supply is infinite and eternal. By focusing on the feeling essence rather than specific outcomes, you allow the universe to bring wealth to you in ways that might far exceed your specific imaginings. You open yourself to possibilities beyond what your current mindset can conceive. This is the true art of living from the state of wealth. It's not about pretending to have material possessions you don't yet have. It's about aligning yourself with the truth of your divine nature, your oneness with the creative power of the universe. It's about living each day from the state of infinite abundance, regardless of outer appearances. As you practice this, you may find that your outer world begins to shift in subtle ways. Perhaps you start to notice more abundance in your life, or you find yourself naturally attracting generous people and favorable financial circumstances, or opportunities for increase seem to appear out of nowhere. These are all signs that your inner shift is creating ripples in your outer reality. Don't discount these small changes, celebrate them. See them as confirmation that the law is working, that your assumed state of wealth is taking root. But don't become attached to them or anxiously look for them. Simply acknowledge them with gratitude and continue to live from your state of wealth. As you persist in this practice, larger changes will begin to manifest. You may find yourself attracting more financial opportunities. You may notice that your income begins to increase. You may experience unexpected windfalls or brilliant ideas for creating wealth. And as you continue to live from the state of wealth, you'll discover that life becomes an exciting adventure of ever-expanding prosperity. But remember, the outer manifestation is not the goal. The goal is the state of consciousness from which all desired experiences naturally flow. This is a crucial point, my friends. When you're truly living from the state of wealth, when you're fully embodying this consciousness, you no longer need external circumstances to confirm your state. You're already whole, already complete in your knowing that wealth is your natural state. And paradoxically, it's in this state of inner fulfillment that you're most likely to experience a life of true abundance. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, what about action? Don't we need to do things in the physical world to create wealth? And to this I say, yes, action is part of the process. But it's inspired action, not anxious doing. When you're consistently living from the state of wealth, ideas and opportunities will naturally present themselves to you. You'll feel inspired to take certain actions, to move in certain directions. These actions won't feel like struggle or effort. They'll feel natural, joyful, almost effortless. This is the difference between trying to make wealth happen and allowing it to happen. When you're trying to force wealth, actions feel stressful, born out of fear and lack. When you're living from the consciousness of wealth, actions flow naturally from your aligned state, guided by an inner wisdom that knows exactly how to bring about the manifestation of your wealthy reality. Consider the example of a fruit tree. A fruit tree doesn't strain to produce fruit. It doesn't force itself to grow. It simply unfolds naturally, expressing its innate abundance. You, my dear listeners, are no different. When you align yourself with the consciousness of wealth, you allow your life to unfold naturally and beautifully, expressing the infinite plenty that is your birthright. But let me be clear, this state of allowing is not passive. It requires an active use of your imagination, a deliberate and focused embodiment of the state of wealth. It requires faith, not blind faith in external circumstances, but faith in the creative power of your consciousness and your ability to create wealth through your assumed state. This faith is not about believing that wealth will come someday in the future. It's about knowing that you are wealthy now in this very moment, and that your outer world must inevitably conform to this new inner reality. As we cultivate this faith, as you persist in living from the state of wealth, you'll begin to see evidence of wealth manifesting in your outer world. These signs may start small: an unexpected financial gain, a fortunate business opportunity, a sudden idea for creating wealth. Do not discount these signs, no matter how small they may seem, for they are confirmation that your inner world, shaped by your assumed state of wealth, is indeed shaping your outer reality. They are breadcrumbs leading you to the full realization of the wealthy life you are creating. As we near the conclusion of our discussion, I want to address a common concern that arises when people first encounter this teaching. Many worry that living from the state of wealth might somehow make them selfish or disconnected from the needs of others. But I assure you, my friends, the opposite is true. When you truly understand the principle of wealth, you realize that you are not separate from others. As you elevate your own consciousness, By assuming a state of wealth, you are elevating the consciousness of all. Your personal wealth, far from disconnecting you from others, actually expands the field of possibilities for all. Moreover, when you are coming from a place of true wealth, you naturally have more to give to others. You become a channel through which abundance flows, not just to you, but through you to the world. Your wealth creates a ripple effect, touching the lives of everyone you encounter with your newfound energy, generosity, and sense of infinite possibility. This is the true gift of living from the state of wealth. It's not just about improving your individual financial circumstances, although that will happen. It's about aligning yourself with the fundamental nature of the universe, which is boundless plenty. It's about recognizing your own divine nature and allowing it to express itself fully through you. In this state of alignment, of consistently living from the state of wealth, you become a channel for the most beautiful expressions of life. Ideas flow to you effortlessly. Opportunities present themselves naturally. The right people and circumstances appear in your life at the perfect time. This is the magic of living from the consciousness of wealth. But remember, this magic is not something external to you. It's not some cosmic force that you need to appease or manipulate. It is the natural expression of your own consciousness when it's aligned with the truth of your being. You are the wealth. You are the abundance. You are the one who makes the impossible possible through your assumed state of infinite plenty. As we draw our time together to a close, I want to leave you with a final thought. The principle we've explored tonight, if you are seeing this, you are going to be rich, is not just a technique for creating better financial circumstances. It's about recognizing your true nature as a divine creative being. It's about aligning your entire being with the fundamental truth of who you are and allowing your grandest expression to flow through you. When you live from this understanding, everything changes. The world becomes a friendly place filled with infinite possibilities for wealth and abundance. You no longer see yourself as a small, separate being struggling to acquire riches. Instead, you recognize yourself as the source of all wealth, the creator of your own abundant reality. In this state, there's no need to fear lack or scarcity, for you understand that you are the source of all creation in your experience. Your job is simply to maintain the consciousness of wealth, to live from this awareness, and to allow the universe to arrange the details of its manifestation. So, my dear friends, as you leave here tonight, I urge you to embrace this principle with all your heart. Don't see it as a technique to be applied occasionally, but as a way of life to be lived continuously. Use your mighty imagination to assume the state of being rich. Feel the naturalness of being the wealthy, divine being you truly are. Live from this state, persist in this knowing, and watch as your world rearranges itself to match your inner vision of abundance. Remember, you are not a limited being struggling to acquire wealth. You are the infinite consciousness, choosing to experience abundance from this particular vantage point. Your assumed state is the tool through which you shape your experience. Use it wisely with the awareness of your true nature and the responsibility that comes with it. Go forth and create the abundantly wealthy life that is your birthright. Knowing that with each moment you live for the state of wealth, you are aligning more fully with the truth of your divine, limitless nature. Thank you. And may you live in the constant awareness of the infinite wealth that you are.